Yo, most good YouTube, man. We know why the Nuggets fired their coach. Let's get into it.
Their head coach late. Bam! The Nuggets fire coach Michael Malone and GM Calvin Booth 1 week before the playoffs. That ties the latest coaching change of all time. So the first thing people ask, what about Nikola Jokic? Because in recent weeks, the national media has accused the Nuggets of wasting Joker's prime. Clips have come out of Jokic more frustrated than we have ever seen him. So did he call up the ownership to fire people? You kidding? ESPN once asked Jokic about the coach and GM and he said, "That's not my job. I'm just trying to play basketball." This is one of the most low maintenance superstars in history, up there with Stephen Curry. Joker doesn't make trade demands. He didn't even subtweet his own teammates like LeBron James. So what happened? Well, 1 week ago, the Nuggets...
This video is about why the Nuggets fired their coach. And he brings up LeBron. Oh my gosh, bro. Really has nothing to do with LeBron and bro, this is why I can't send people, bro. Stuff has nothing to do with LeBron and people still bring up LeBron. Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Left everything on the court. Double OT game, leading Minnesota by 1 point. Denver gets the steal, but Russell Westbrook misses the dagger layup. 1 second left then. Ball finds Nikhil Alexander-Walker in the corner. Russ fouls him on a three-point shot. That leads to free throws and a Nuggets loss. Now, we have seen Russ blow bunnies like that. I mean, 1 day later, an even worse miss. And check out Jokic's face on that one. But Joker dropped a career-high 61 in the Wolves loss. Soul crushing.
First of all, I don't know why. First of all, Jokic, I don't know why you sitting there crying. You wanted Westbrook in the first place. I don't know why he's crying. Jokic is the one that wanted Westbrook in the first place. Now he sees how Westbrook is. And as Lakers fan, when we've been getting blamed and all this for Westbrook, but look at him on the Nuggets. How come they're not blaming Jokic? How come they're not blaming Jokic how they blame LeBron for Westbrook playing terrible? How come they're not blaming Jokic? Can you tell me that? Please, can you tell me that? How come they're not blaming Jokic, huh? How come they're not blaming Jokic? Can you tell me that, please? How come they're not blaming Jokic? How? They're not. But it's LeBron, you know what I'm saying? It's LeBron's fault, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a black man's fault, huh? Yeah.
And it's Denver's entire problem in a nutshell. Leaning all on Jokic, players around him just not good enough. So Denver unraveled, losing 4 in a row, sliding from a solid 4 seed to tied for 5th, now a half game back of 8th. This team could go from hosting a playoff series to the play-in. To make things worse, Jamal Murray is now questionable for the playoffs with a hamstring injury. Things are falling apart at the wrong time. Season looks as dead as their mascot Rocky looked when he accidentally passed out during halftime. So sad. But why let go of the GM and the coach? I mean, something bigger feels like it's going on behind the scenes. But what a crazy end of this season.
Bro, come on now, bro. Stop with this. Come on, gang. You know, son, get your money in, but come on, bro.
It's been tense all year between Michael Malone and GM Calvin Booth. See, the owners have refused to pay big money to keep the team together. Since winning the championship, they have lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, and to a lesser extent, Reggie Jackson. So the...
I forgot about Reggie Jackson. See, that team, that was a good team. They had Reggie. I forgot about Reggie Jackson. I don't think he even plays for the league no more, but that was a good team. They had a backup point guard in Reggie Jackson. They got KCP in the lineup. Bruce Brown, Jeff Green. If they would have kept that team right there, they'll still be good today. But they ain't paid the money. It sounds like the owners are cheap. They ain't paid the money, so that's their fault. You know what I mean?
GM told ownership, "Oh, you don't need to spend big money. I can fix this. I know another way." So in place of those vets, they drafted guys like Zeke Naji, Christian Brown, Julian Strother, acquired Peyton Watson. But the problem is Michael Malone hates playing young guys. He doesn't trust them. Like, as a coach, he's just trying to win the next game, not develop players for the future. So by the end of last year, they went from defending champ to second round round exit. Nuggets blew a 20-point lead in Game 7 to the Wolves, in part because the vets were tired and hurt from playing so much. Jamal Murray was basically playing on one leg, so Booth blamed Coach Malone. Plugged-in reporter Kevin O'Connor said Booth and Malone never liked each other, rarely spoke, and...
So you're telling me you're blaming Malone. First of all, it's your fault for not building a team. Y'all lost, what, 4 key players? 3 key players? And you didn't replace that, but you try to replace it into the draft, knowing these are young players. The league players are not going to be ready right away. They got years to get ready, to get better. You couldn't re-sign KCP. You couldn't get back Bruce Brown, Jeff Green. Then you sitting there blaming Michael Malone because the team is trash. It's crazy. That's insane, bro. That's insane.
They talked behind each other's backs. So with the team struggling, Nuggets ownership decided to fire both. Insane. But how bad was Coach Michael Malone anyway? I mean, isn't he the winningest head coach in team history? Guy who won them in title? The only coach Nikola Jokic has ever had? Yes, but... he's also kind of an a-hole.
Did you feel like there was anything that you guys got away from offensively?
Next question, man. Stupid questions.
Okay, we do not actually feel bad for the media, but what about the players? Well, first of all, Malone had a strong bond with each and every guy. Like when Jamal Murray tore his ACL, he thought he was damaged goods. Malone went to Murray, who had tears in his eyes on the team bus, asking if they're gonna trade him. And Malone said to his face, hell no, you are our guy, and when you come back, you're gonna be better than ever, which he was, and they won the championship. But when things get hard, Malone sometimes treated his guys like children.
The guys that are full won't hear it. You know, they'll say coach is tripping because they don't want. They're not going to go back and watch their minutes because nobody watches their minutes. Nobody watches film.
I mean, is he wrong? He's not wrong. He's really not wrong at all. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's just players don't like to be. Some players don't want to be held accountable for their actions. Some players do not like to be held accountable. That's why they fire these coaches. The same thing why the Lakers fired Devin Ham, but Devin Ham was garbage. You know what I mean? And the same thing, like, as a coach, it's good to be honest. But is Michael Malone completely wrong? No, he's not. But should he have done this? No, not really. Probably should just talk to his players from behind the scenes, not go to the media and do this, you know what I'm saying? But players got to take accountability. And some players don't want to take accountability, you know what I'm saying? Because their ego and pride be, you know what I'm saying?
Film. So we'll have to show them the film.
Yeah, like, well, nobody around here actually does their job and watches film. I'm going to have to do it for them. Not great. So I will bet that during this recent stretch where they're losing a lot of games, like, Malone was just so hard to deal with that ownership just wanted to get him out as soon as possible. But what happens next? Well, they have promoted lead assistant David Adelman to head coach. If they somehow go on a deep playoff run from here, he could get a look at head coach permanently. But this is Nikola Jokic here, okay? They've got to swing big. They've got like a top 10 player of all time in his prime. They cannot mess this up. Big reason for this was the national media saying they are messing it up, wasting Joker's prime. So are they gonna hire a dude like David Adelman with zero head coaching experience? No. I will bet the short list right now looks something like this. Chauncey Billups, if he gets let go in Portland, he is a Nuggets legend. Mike Budenholzer, who could leave Phoenix. Frank Vogel, as tired as that name is, I know. And believe it or not, Mike D'Antoni will probably get a call, okay? The owners have loved D'Antoni for years, have tried to hire him forever. But a first round exit will mean an even bigger change because before the season, Michael Porter Jr.
I promise you right now, if they get bounced out the first round, either Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. is gone. One of them is going to, maybe even both. But probably Michael Porter going to be the one that's going to be the odd man out.
Told ESPN, if we don't win it this year, we all know they might have to break it up. And that means the core four. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and MPJ. Joker is one of the best talents to never play with an all-star in his career as a teammate. This is the Nuggets' best last chance to fix that. So what's wrong with the team around Jokic to cause all this mess? So what has gone wrong with this roster that they need to improve? Well, Denver's defense has been terrible all year, and a majority of their problems revolve around Nikola Jokic. I'm sorry, but it's true. Yes, he puts forth great effort. He's got a high basketball IQ, but watch this. First, Nikola lacks the foot speed to defend one-on-one. If a quicker guard or big gets him matched up in open space, it's pretty much a guaranteed bucket. Second, Nikola lacks the verticality to be an effective rim protector. Might be 7 feet, but he doesn't have the lift to offer any real resistance in the paint. And that lack of vertical presence makes it difficult for Nikola to play drop coverage. Look at how easily Andrew Nembhard is able to work down into the paint to separate for an easy jumper over him. We'll see him again here, stunt up on the...
They're talking about Jokic has good defense. Jokic don't play no type of defense. All you have to do was switch every screen, make Jokic guards with players, and Jokic is going to be gassed by the time the fourth quarter comes. You know what I mean?
Screen, but as the ball gets swung across, these two weak side defenders have to get matched up with Nembhard and Obi Toppin spotting up. It's up to Jokic to scramble down to protect the paint, but there's just no way he's going to make up all that ground. However, look, we know that if you put 4 good defenders around Nikola Jokic, it's enough to win a championship. And by far, the Nuggets' best defensive lineup is when they sub in Peyton Watson and Russell Westbrook for Jamal Murray and MPJ, so they can put Jokic on the weakest offensive link while the other 4 players get matched up and play the offense straight up. It works. But, and here's the big problem with this roster, what the Nuggets gain with that defensive lineup, they lose offensively. First, with MPJ and Murray off the court, the Nuggets don't have anybody else who's both an accurate and high volume 3-point shooter.
Exactly.
That gives the off-ball defense a license to roam around on their man and blow up the Nuggets' primary action. So Denver here is going to set this ball screen for Jokic in semi-transition. Notice how Brandon Podziemski is going to just ignore Peyton Watson on the wing, shift across the court, and Golden State happy to give up that wide open 3. And this play here is pretty wild, where Russ and Nikola are running this 2-man game, and notice how Tyrese Halliburton from the weak side is going to shift over and take away the pass back to Nikola. That funnels Westbrook into a contested finish. They either have a lineup that's good on defense, but not both, and it needs to fix. But the Nuggets obviously got the message about wasting Joker's prime, so now they are sending a message that they are serious about saving it. But Denver's not going to be the only big move this summer. Zion Williamson has been on the trade block since this last deadline. Sham says that him and Pelicans...
Y'all let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you guys think what the real reason why they even fired Michael Malone. We probably won't get it, but the roster they have is garbage, bro. It's just trash, and that's on the GM for doing that. You can't blame the coach for that. You really gonna blame the coach because the roster is trash? Yeah. Anyways, man, we out.